In the dusty little village of Karimganj, where the red earth clung to everything and hunger was a constant visitor, there lived a young woman named Ada. She was 22, but sorrow had etched deep lines around her eyes. 5 years earlier, her mother had passed away, and since then, peace had been a stranger to her home. Her father, Pa Musa, once a gentle farmer, had turned bitter and drank too much. To make matters worse, he married a harsh woman named Hajia Rabi, who despised Ada with a cold fire. They forced her to cook, fetch firewood, sweep the yard, and work the fields from sunrise to sunset, often sending her to sleep hungry. The whole village pitied her, but no one dared speak up. Pa Musa's temper was feared by all. Then came Yusuf, a quiet young man from the city. His clothes were worn, his sandals patched, but his eyes were keen and honest. He had labored on Pa Musa's farm for 3 whole months, clearing bush, planting yam, hauling heavy loads from dawn to dusk, yet Pa Musa always delayed his wages. Next week, next market day, he would say, and nothing ever came. One scorching afternoon, Yusuf came to the compound, weary and firm. "Sir, I need my pay today. 3 months is long enough." Pa Musa scratched his beard, glanced around, and his eyes landed on Ada, who was sweeping with a bent back. A cruel smile spread across his face. "You want money?" he asked. "Yes, sir. I earned it." "Then take that useless girl," Pa Musa said, pointing. "Take Ada to the city. That is your payment." Ada's heart shattered. The broom slipped from her hands. "Baba, please, no." "Quiet," he roared. "Be grateful someone wants you." Hajia Rabi smirked. "Good riddance, one less mouth to feed." Ada fell to her knees, begging, tears streaming, but no one listened. Yusuf watched her silently. She was exhausted, yet something strong and gentle shone through her pain. "I'll take her," he said quietly. With a small bundle tied in an old wrapper and tears she could not stop, Ada followed Yusuf. Her little half-brother, Bello, hid behind the mud wall, crying as he waved goodbye. The journey to the city was long. Dusty roads, crowded buses, endless miles. Ada stared out the window, numb. She had left the only home she knew, cruel as it was, and had no idea what waited ahead. In her heart she whispered, "God, let this man be kind. I am so tired of pain." Yusuf said little, only glancing at her now and then with quiet concern. At last they reached the city. Tall buildings, rushing cars, noise everywhere. Ada clutched her bundle tightly. They took a keke to a quiet street lined with flowers, then stopped before a high black gate. When it opened, Ada gasped. The compound was vast and beautiful, the main house white and grand, with a small fountain and neat gardens. Yusuf led her past the big house to a neat little building at the back, the servants' quarters, clean and peaceful, with its own bedroom, parlor, kitchen, and bathroom. "This is where I stay," Yusuf said with a small smile. "I just started work here as a gateman. The madam is kind. She lets me live here free so long as I keep the place safe." To Ada, it looked like a palace. No leaking roof, a real bed with clean sheets, a door that locked. She smiled for the first time in years. "If this is God's plan, I accept it," she whispered. 2 days later, Ada awoke to the sweet smell of frying plantain and eggs. Yusuf was in the kitchen cooking breakfast. "Good morning," she said softly. "Morning, Ada. Sleep well?" "As a baby," she answered, and they both laughed. After eating, he said, "Come, I want you to meet someone." She changed into the simple new gown he had bought her and followed him to the main house. An elegant woman in her late 50s opened the door, kind eyes, calm voice. "Good morning, Auntie," Yusuf greeted. "Morning, Yusuf. And who is this lovely girl?" "This is Ada, my wife," Yusuf said. The woman, Madame Laraba, welcomed Ada warmly. "Come in, my dear. You have a gentle spirit. I like you already." A month passed, and Ada's confidence grew. She cooked delicious meals in their small quarters, even writing recipes in a little notebook Yusuf gave her. One afternoon, while helping Madame Laraba carry groceries, the woman called her aside. "Ada, my cook traveled abroad with her family. I've watched you. You're hard-working, honest, and your food is wonderful. I want you to take the job." Ada's eyes filled with tears of joy. "Auntie, thank you. God bless you." Later, bubbling with excitement, she told Madame Laraba her dream of returning to school and attending university. The woman hugged her tightly. "That is a beautiful dream. I love girls who love learning." That evening, Ada ran back to their quarters shouting Yusuf's name. When she told him everything, he lifted her off the ground and spun her around. "That's my wife, hard-working and brilliant." One night, as they lay side by side, Ada turned to him. "Yusuf, why have you never touched me? We are married. Most men would have." He sat up gently. "Because I'm not most men. I didn't bring you here to use you. I brought you here to love you, protect you, and wait until your heart is ready, until you choose me freely, not out of fear or duty." Tears rolled down her cheeks. No one had ever spoken to her like that. "You make me feel safe. You make me feel like a queen," she whispered. A few days after Ada started working in the main kitchen, a tall, handsome young man walked in, Madame Laraba's only son, Aminu. He stared openly. "Wow, you're stunning," he said. "Mom said you were beautiful, but damn." Ada greeted him politely and kept working. He kept talking, flirting, telling her to call him by name instead of sir. She felt uneasy. When she told Yusuf that evening, he smiled and said, "That's just Aminu. He likes joking. He's harmless." But something in Ada's spirit remained unsettled. Days later, Aminu cornered her in the kitchen again. "Ada, I'll be direct. I want you. Say yes, and I'll change your life. University abroad, money, clothes, everything. That poor Gateman can't give you anything. I can even have him sacked today." Ada stepped back, voice steady. "With respect, sir, I am happily married. I love my husband. He treats me with honor. I believe God will bless him one day, and I will wait for that day with him." Aminu laughed coldly. "You'll regret turning me down." That evening, Ada told Yusuf everything. Anger flashed in his eyes, but he calmed himself and held her close. "Thank you for choosing me. I will always protect you." The next morning, Ada went straight to Madame Laraba. With tears and trembling voice, she explained everything. Aminu's offers, his threats, how uncomfortable and disrespected she felt. To her shock, Madame Laraba said softly, "My son only sees your potential, Ada. Maybe you should consider. We can give you everything. Education, comfort. We could even pay Yusuf to leave quietly." Ada stood tall, tears falling, but voice firm. "Auntie, with all due respect, I am not for sale. I married Yusuf because he gave me dignity when the world threw me away. I would rather leave this house poor and happy than stay rich and ashamed." She walked out, head high, heart pounding. Back in their quarters, she found Yusuf sitting with bundles of money on the table. "Where did all this come from?" she gasped. He smiled gently. I've been saving for years to start a business. But today, after seeing the kind of woman you are, choosing love over wealth, I want you to use it for university." She shook her head fiercely. "No, Yusuf, that money is your dream. We will build our own future together. Let's rent a small place outside, open a small restaurant. I'll cook, you manage. When the business grows, then I'll go to school, step by step, together." Yusuf looked at her in wonder. "You are wise beyond years, Ada. You are everything I ever prayed for." That night, they kissed for the first time, slow, tender, full of trust and real love. The next day, Madame Laraba and Aminu came knocking, faces humble. "We are sorry," the woman said. "We were wrong. You are rare, Ada, a true wife."
Aminu lowered his head. "I was foolish. Forgive me." Ada forgave them quietly. That evening, Yusuf sat Ada down. "There's something I must tell you. I haven't been completely honest." She raised an eyebrow. "Madame Laraba is my mother. Aminu is my younger brother. This compound belongs to our family. I pretended to be poor because too many women in the past only wanted my money. I needed to know someone could love me for me." Ada stared, then burst out laughing. "Yusuf, you owe me big for that lie." "Name it, my queen. Cars, houses, anything you want." She jumped into his arms. "I only want you." News traveled fast. When Pa Musa heard that the poor laborer was actually wealthy beyond imagining, he nearly fell off his stool. He called Ada, voice shaking with regret. She listened calmly, forgave from a distance, but said, "Keep your distance, Baba. I am finally at peace." Years later, Dr. Ada crossed the stage in her white coat to thunderous applause. Yusuf cheered loudest. "That's my wife, my doctor, my queen." Afterward, they drove to a magnificent mansion. Yusuf dangled the keys. "I promised you a mansion and a car. Here they are." Ada screamed with joy, then whispered, "And I have news. I am 3 months pregnant." Yusuf fell to his knees, kissed her belly, and shouted thanks to God. From the dusty village where she was given away like a sack of grain, Ada rose to become royalty, not because of money, but because of faithfulness, love, and the quiet strength of a heart that refused to be bought. And they lived, not perfectly, but happily, gratefully, and very much together. If this video just healed something inside you, if you believe your own turnaround is coming, then tag that sister, that brother, that friend who's been rejected, betrayed, and counted out. Share this video and watch God use you to restore their joy today. We're marching to 1 million souls set on fire for true love. Your subscribe is not just a click, it's a declaration that you will never give up on love. I'm waiting for you and the family. Come home. Click subscribe right now. The next miracle story drops in 24 hours. Don't miss it for anything in this world.